Hi, my name is Rachel Wagner. I would like to tell you a little bit about my life and the things that I have learned from having been bullied as a child. I just finished watching the movie Bully, and I would like to take this chance to make a stand and to make a difference if I can. I am 31 years old, and I was born into a loving, wonderful family for most of my life there was just three siblings in my family, well, two including and then me, and I remember always feeling a little bit different and feeling like I couldn't explain why I felt different, and I did not like being a child very much. I always wanted to be a grown-up, and I think because I wanted to be a grown-up because I wanted to be able to explain how I felt in my heart. And this feeling became magnified when I was 8 or 9 years old. I went from looking like this to looking like this in the matter of a couple of years. I gained a lot of weight very quickly, and there are a lot of reasons that I understand now why that happened. Medically, I understand now about my thyroid problems, about my insulin resistance problems. I understand that there were things emotionally that I didn't know how to deal with, that also, nothing too dramatic, but it was hard for me. But I was told that there was something wrong with me and that I needed to change. I remember somebody I loved telling me that I weighed as much as most grown men. And so I had a lot of pressure to change. And coupled to that, you can imagine that somebody gaining over 50 pounds was not looked on very highly amongst their peers. And there was especially a 2-year period where I was pushed, I was called terrible names, I was told that I was a fat whore, and that that nobody would ever love me, and that I shouldn't, that my parents should be embarrassed to have such an ugly daughter. And my parents went to the school system and went to the teachers, and they just said, sorry, kids will be kids. And they did nothing. And my parents said, well, fine, we're not going to let our daughter wallow. And they put me in private school. And I was lucky enough that we had the means to do so. But there is always another option. It is never the best option to stay where you are treated like that. There's always something else. And so if you're feeling that way, don't give up, and make sure your parents know that there are other options and there are other choices. Going to the school, it changed my life. And then my family moved about 6 months later, and we moved to a place that was far away from all the bullying, to the other side of the country. And so I got to start all over. And I still had a little bit actually there, a little bit a hard time, but I made a friend my first year. And we lived in a place where there were so few people that I could basically participate in anything that I wanted to participate in. And so I was able to make friends. And once I became an adult, it is really true that it gets better. And I just wanted to show you some of the things that I've accomplished in my life that people thought I could never accomplish. I went to Europe twice, including Italy. I went to Japan. I don't have a good picture of that. I went to Hawaii 4 times, and the last time I was there, I learned how to surf. I served a mission for my church, something I never thought I would be strong enough to be able to do. And most importantly of all, I was able